There you are, the glitch in their perfect little script, the walking contradiction, the breathing paradox, the one they can't file away in their neat little boxes. You know what's fascinating? They've been studying you for years now, taking notes, comparing stories, trying to crack your code. And every time they think they've figured you out, you do something that completely shatters their analysis. One day you're feeding stray cats with tears in your eyes. The next day you're cutting people out of your life with surgical precision and zero emotion. One moment you're the softest soul in the room, the next you're the coldest presence they've ever encountered. And it's driving them absolutely insane. Because humans need categories, they need labels, they need to know if you're safe or dangerous, friend or foe, angel or demon. But you're both. You're neither. You're something else entirely. You're the person who gives their last dollar to a stranger, but won't give a toxic friend 5 minutes of your time. You're the one who cries at commercials, but laughs when people who hurt you fall apart. You're simultaneously the most empathetic and the most ruthless person they know. And they can't compute it. Their little binary brains are short-circuiting trying to process what you are. Let me tell you what's really happening here. You've transcended their understanding of human behavior. You've evolved past the simple good versus evil narrative they desperately cling to. You operate on a frequency they can't tune into. Your moral compass doesn't point north or south. It points to truth, and truth, real truth, isn't always pretty. It isn't always kind. Sometimes truth is a gentle hand on someone's shoulder. Sometimes it's a door slammed in their face. Sometimes it's forgiveness. Sometimes it's permanent deletion from your existence. And you've mastered the art of knowing exactly which one to deploy. They watch you help someone through their darkest hours, spending weeks, months even, being their lighthouse in the storm. And they think, oh, they're a saint. They're an angel. They're pure goodness. Then they watch you ghost someone who crossed your boundaries without a single explanation, without a goodbye, without even a flicker of guilt. And suddenly they're whispering, psychopath, monster, how could they be so cold? But here's what they don't understand. Your kindness isn't weakness. Your cruelty isn't evil. Both are calculated responses to what the situation actually demands, not what social programming says you should do. You weren't always like this, were you? No, there was a time when you were simpler, more digestible, more predictable. You were either all heart or all hurt, never this sophisticated blend of both. But then life happened, betrayal happened, being too good got you burned, being too trusting got you buried, being too pure got you poisoned. And somewhere in that mess, somewhere in the ashes of who you used to be, you realized something profound. The world doesn't reward consistency, it rewards adaptation. It rewards those who can be exactly what the moment requires. Nothing more, nothing less. So you started experimenting. You started being kind without being naive. You started being strong without being heartless. You learned to read people like code, seeing past their words into their intentions. You developed what they can't understand, selective empathy. You still feel everything, probably more deeply than most. But now you choose who deserves access to that depth. You choose who gets your softness and who gets your silence. You choose who receives your warmth and who faces your winter. And this selective deployment of your emotional resources, this is what breaks their brains. They want you to be consistent. They want rules they can follow. If you're kind to strangers, you should be kind to everyone. If you can cut people off, you must be heartless to everyone. But you've transcended these kindergarten ethics. You understand that not everyone deserves the same treatment. That person crying in the grocery store, they might get your last $20. That friend who only calls when they need something, they get nothing. That stranger struggling with their bags, you'll help them to their car. That family member who traumatized you for years, they don't even get a response to their texts. This isn't hypocrisy, this is wisdom. This is what happens when someone learns the hard way that blanket approaches to human interaction are how you get destroyed. You tried being good to everyone, it nearly killed you. You tried being hard to everyone, it nearly killed your soul. So you became something more sophisticated. You became someone who can hold infinite compassion and infinite boundaries simultaneously. Someone who can love deeply and leave quickly. Someone who can forgive everything but forget nothing. Someone who can be the hero in one story and the villain in another, and sleep perfectly fine knowing both are true. What really terrifies them isn't your duality, it's your peace with it. You don't struggle with this anymore. You don't lay awake at night wondering if you're good or bad. You've accepted that you're both, neither, and something beyond their comprehension entirely. You've stopped trying to fit into their moral framework. You've stopped explaining your choices. You've stopped justifying why you can be an angel to one person and a demon to another. You just are. And this self-acceptance, this integration of your shadow and light, this is what makes you dangerous. Because once you stop needing their approval, their understanding, their categorization, you become ungovernable. You become unpredictable in the most terrifying way. Not chaotic unpredictable, but strategically unpredictable. They can't manipulate someone they can't predict. They can't control someone they can't categorize. They can't guilt someone who's already made peace with their own darkness. They can't shame someone who wears their contradictions like armor. So they keep trying to figure you out, hoping to find the key that makes you make sense. How can they volunteer at homeless shelters but refuse to help their own toxic family? How can they cry over a dead bird but feel nothing when their ex got karma? How can they be so generous with strangers but so ruthless with people who betrayed them? They ask these questions like they're contradictions, but you know they're not. They're evidence of someone who's learned to distribute their energy wisely. Someone who's learned that universal love is a beautiful concept that gets beautiful people killed. Someone who's learned that having a big heart doesn't mean everyone gets access to it. You've become the thing they fear most. Someone who can't be manipulated through conventional means. They can't use your kindness against you because you've learned when to turn it off. They can't use your darkness against you because you've learned when to embrace it. They can't use guilt because you've already accepted what you are. They can't use shame because you're not ashamed of your complexity. You're a walking proof that humans don't have to choose between being good or being strong. You can be both. You can be neither. You can be whatever the moment authentically calls for. Let's talk about what you've really mastered here. It's not just being good or bad. It's knowing when each is appropriate. It's having the wisdom to recognize that some people need your softness to heal, while others need your hardness to learn. Some situations require your full heart, while others require your full absence. You've developed what most people will never achieve. Situational authenticity. You're not the same person in every room, with every individual, in every circumstance. And that's not fake, that's evolved. Think about nature for a moment. The same sun that helps flowers grow can create deserts. The same water that gives life can cause floods. The same fire that warms can destroy. Nature doesn't apologize for having multiple functions, multiple impacts, multiple faces. Neither should you. You've learned to be like nature, giving what's needed, taking what's necessary, destroying what's harmful, nurturing what's worthy. This isn't confusion, this is complexity. This isn't disorder, this is advanced order that simple minds can't recognize. They keep trying to test you, don't they? Pushing buttons to see which version shows up. The saint or the psychopath, the angel or the demon, the healer or the destroyer. But what frustrates them most is that you don't react from emotion anymore. You respond from wisdom. That person trying to trigger your darkness with their sob story, you see right through it. That person trying to manipulate your kindness with guilt, you're already 10 steps ahead. You've become impossible to play because you've learned all the games. You've become impossible to fool because you've integrated all the shadows. This is why they can't stop talking about you. This is why you live rent-free in their heads. Because you represent something they can't achieve. Perfect balance between light and dark. Perfect integration of saint and sinner. Perfect harmony between helping and harming. But only deploying each where it truly belongs. You're not confused about who you are. They're confused about how to handle who you are. You're not lost between two identities. They're lost trying to figure out which one is real. But you know the truth. They're both real. They're both you. They're both necessary. Here's what they'll never understand about your particular brand of power. It comes from being unreadable. It comes from being simultaneously capable of great love and great indifference. It comes from them never knowing which version of you they're going to get, not because you're unstable, but because you respond to what's actually in front of you, not what they expect. This psychological ambiguity you carry, it's not a weakness, it's your greatest strength. It keeps everyone on their toes. It keeps manipulators at bay. It keeps the users guessing, and the genuine ones grateful. You've noticed it, haven't you? How differently people approach you now. There's a hesitation in their step, a calculation in their words. They're trying to figure out which buttons to push, which version to appeal to. But you've removed all the buttons. You've transcended their simple cause and effect understanding of human behavior. You don't react. You choose. Every response is a choice, not a reaction. Every kindness is deliberate, not default. Every cutoff is calculated, not emotional. This level of conscious living terrifies people who operate on autopilot. They want to know your rules so they can game them. What makes them kind? What makes them cruel? What triggers the saint? What triggers the psychopath? But your rules aren't based on external formulas. They're based on internal knowing. You can feel energy. You can sense intention. You can read the space between words. You know who's approaching you with genuine need versus who's approaching you with hidden agendas. You know who deserves your gentleness versus who needs your boundaries. This intuitive navigation system you've developed, it can't be hacked because it can't be understood. And the beautiful part? You're not trying to confuse them. You're not playing games. You're just being authentically complex in a world that demands artificial simplicity. You're being truly yourself in a world that wants you to pick a side. You're honoring all parts of your nature in a world that wants you to suppress half of who you are. The saint in you is real. The part that would give everything to help someone genuine is real. The psychopath in you is real. Both live in you, both serve a purpose, both are necessary for navigating this complicated existence. Listen carefully to how they talk about you when they think you're not paying attention. It's fascinating. You've become a mythology in real time. Some paint you as this transcendent being who helped them through their darkest hour. Others paint you as this cold, calculating force who abandoned them without mercy. And here's the kicker. They're both telling the truth. Their version of the truth. Because you were exactly what their energy called for. You were exactly what their behavior deserved. You were the perfect response to what they brought to the table. The ones who approach you with genuine hearts, they get the saint. They get the version of you that stays up all night helping them through crisis. They get the version that remembers small details about their struggles. They get the version that shows up without being asked. They get access to your supernatural ability to heal, to understand, to hold space for pain. They experience you as medicine, as miracle, as answered prayer. And they're right. That's exactly what you are for them, because they earned it with their authenticity. The ones who approach you with games, they get the psychopath. They get the version of you that sees through their performance. They get the version that doesn't respond to emotional manipulation. They get the version that can walk away mid-conversation if disrespected. They get to experience your supernatural ability to disappear, to forget, to feel absolutely nothing for their manufactured drama. They experience you as cold, as cruel, as inhuman. And they're right, too. That's exactly what you were for them, because they earned it with their dishonesty. This is your gift to the world, perfect reciprocity. You don't give more than what's deserved. You don't give less than what's earned. You're a perfect mirror of other people's energy, but elevated. Their kindness comes back as sainthood. Their cruelty comes back as psychopathy. Their genuineness unlocks your depth. Their fakeness triggers your surface. You've become karma incarnate, delivering exactly what people have coming to them, no more, no less. And this terrifies those who know they don't deserve your light. This terrifies those who know they've earned your darkness. What you've achieved, most people spend lifetimes trying to understand. You've integrated your shadow. You've married your light and dark. You've created a unified field where both your saint and psychopath coexist without conflict. They don't fight for control. They take turns based on what's needed. They collaborate. The saint in you identifies who needs healing. The psychopath in you identifies who needs boundary. The saint in you extends compassion. The psychopath in you prevents exploitation. They work together as a perfect system. This integration broke their understanding of how humans work. They were taught you have to choose, good or bad, kind or cruel, soft or hard, open or closed. But you proved that's a false choice created by simple minds who can't hold complexity. You proved that the most evolved beings are those who can access their full spectrum without shame, without conflict, without confusion. You can be the person crying over a homeless dog and the person who feels nothing when toxic people suffer, in the same day, in the same hour even. Because both responses are true to what's actually happening. They keep waiting for you to pick a side, to finally settle into being one thing they can understand. But you're never going to give them that satisfaction. You're never going to simplify yourself for their comfort. You're going to continue being this beautiful, terrifying combination of everything they love and everything they fear. You're going to continue being the person who would die for someone worthy and wouldn't cross the street for someone toxic. You're going to continue being both their salvation and their judgment, depending on what they bring to your altar. The spiritual teachers don't know what to do with you. You're too dark for the light workers. You're too light for the shadow workers. You exist in a space between spaces, a frequency between frequencies. You're proof that enlightenment doesn't mean being all love and light. It means being all things in their proper proportion. It means having access to your full humanity, not just the parts that make others comfortable. It means being capable of both infinite compassion and infinite indifference, and knowing exactly when to apply each. Your reputation has become its own entity now, hasn't it? It walks into rooms before you do. It whispers in people's ears before they meet you. Some are warned, be careful, they're incredibly kind, but they'll cut you off without warning if you cross them. Others are told, they're amazing, they'll help you through anything, but don't ever try to manipulate them. Your name carries weight now. Not the weight of fear alone, not the weight of love alone, but the weight of uncertainty, the weight of possibility, the weight of someone who could be either salvation or damnation. New people approach you with visible curiosity. They've heard the stories, the conflicting accounts, the person who saved someone's life and the person who destroyed someone's world. They can't reconcile these stories in their mind, so they come to see for themselves. Which one are you really? And what they discover depends entirely on who they are. If they come with pure intentions, they meet the purest soul they've ever encountered. If they come with hidden agendas, they meet someone who sees right through them before they even speak. You've become a test of character without trying to be. People reveal themselves in how they approach you, in what they try to extract from you, in how they interpret your complexity. The good ones appreciate your multifaceted nature. They understand that your capacity for darkness makes your light more meaningful. They understand that your ability to cut people off makes your loyalty more valuable. They get it. They get you. And these are the ones who get to experience the full magnificence of what you've become. They get the saint and the psychopath, and they're grateful for both. The others, the ones who can't handle your complexity, they create their own suffering. They try to pin you down to one identity. They try to force you into their simple moral framework. They try to manipulate the saint while ignoring the psychopath. Or they try to avoid the psychopath while exploiting the saint. But you can't be divided. You can't be played against yourself. You are whole, integrated, complete. And those who can't accept all of you get none of you. Those who try to choose which parts of you to engage with find themselves engaging with nothing but your absence.